Assalamu alaikum, my dear students. Welcome to our today's class. What are you seeing in the board? This is the note of money. Students, do you know what is money? Yes, students, money is an economic unit, functions as a medium of exchange for transactional purposes in economy. I think you may understand now what will be our today's topic. Yes, students, our today's topic is our first economic chapter, chapter 11, the national resource and economic system. From this chapter, we will know about the concept of resource, types of resource, source of resource, and preservation of resources. Students, the prosperity of any country depends on the nature and the amount of the national resource of that country. So if we want to know the economy of any country, we should know about the resources of that country. So now we will know about the definition of resources in economy. Why in economy? Because in economy, every goods are not resource. Like I have two marker. Here, one marker, it has no ink, so it has no economic value because no one will buy this marker. Okay, but I have another marker, it has some ink, and anyone will buy this marker from market, so it has an economic value. That means every goods are not a resource in economy. So what is the definition of resource in economy? Which goods have to hold utility, insufficiency, visibility and extensibility, that is called resources in economy. I know now you have some questions about utility, insufficiency, visibility and extensibility. So let's explain it. In economy, the ability of fulfilling the need of any goods is called utility. That means which goods has the utility of fulfilling the need. Sometime before, I have seen this marker. This marker has no ink, so it has not the capability to fulfilling our need. That's why this is not resource, but it has the capability to fulfilling the need, and that's why this is called resource. Next, insufficiency. When the supply of any goods is less than demand, that is called insufficiency. This marker's demand is this marker demand is less than its supply. That's why this is economic resource. But in our world, we have air, and air can fulfill our needed. Am I right? We need air and oxygen from the air, and air can fulfill our needed. But we have not sufficiency to the air. That's why insufficiency of the air. That's why air is not a economic product or economic resource, because air has no insufficiency. Now you can ask me if any good has utility or insufficiency, and that means that is called resource. Now students, it has also visibility and extensibility. When it has visibility and extensibility and utility and insufficiency, that time that product or that goods are called resource. Like our health. Our health has our health is insufficient, and it has capability to fulfill our need. But Our health is not a resource because we cannot exchange our health with anyone and we cannot visible our health. But when the parts of our body or we work to we work uh, by we work to use our health, that time it has economic value. Like I am working in a workshop and use my health, that time it has an economic value, and that time this health is a resource. Otherwise our health is not a resource because it has no extensibility and economic and visibility. When we are working, that time our health is exchanged into the work, and that's why that time our health is called a resource. That means not our health, our work is called a resource. I hope you already understand the definition of resource. Now we will discuss about the types of resource. Resource has four types. At first, personal resource. So what is personal resource? When a resource is owner, the resource owner is one person. That is called personal resource. Like this marker. This marker owner is me. Like my book, my house, my car, this is my personal resource. After that, collective resource. Collective resource means that resource are used collectively in a society, like hospital, school, college, religious institution. That type of resource are using collectively. That's why these resources are called collective resource. Next, national resource. The personal resource, all personal resource and all collective resource are the national resource. Like our all school, all parks, and our road and highway, and our all buildings of the state, all the cars of the state, and all property of the state is called national resource. After that, international resource. Uh, some resources are not using by a specific state, like a ocean. An ocean cannot be used by one country. That's why it is an international resource. And some scientific invention, which invention is included with many person of many countries. That type of invention is international resource. We have understand about the types of resources. But from where we are getting this type of resources? The resource has two sources. First is natural resources and man-made resources. Natural resources means which goods are or which resources are uh, we get from nature. That is called natural resource. And which resource are made by man or women, made by human, that is called man-made resource. Like a river. A river is a natural resource. But the embankment of a river, that is not a natural resource because the embankment is made by human. That's why the embankment is the man-made resource. Though resource has various types, that's why its preservation is occur differently. Like private resource. Private resource is preserved by his own. Like our resources are preserved by me and protected it by me and developed it by me. Our my resource cannot protected by government or any other. And national resources. We know our all resources of the state is called national resources. So National resource is protected by government, obviously, but not only the government, but also the general people of the people is the protector of the national resource, like our bridge, highway, our river, our park, school, college. This is all a national resource, and these resources are protected by government, obviously, and also is the responsibility of us. But when a industry has a owner, which industry has a owner, that owner is the protector of his industry. And obviously government also protect his industry from any disaster or any big problems when he faced. With the preservation of this type of disaster, it's checking wastage is related. So when we preserve this type of resources, that time we will keep stay with the taking its wastage. If we want to get good result or want to check wastage, for that we should take a plan for preservation and checking wastage. So we will make a action plan for our preservation, preserve our resources and our checking wastage. That's all our today's topic, students. So what have we learned today? We have learned uh, definition of resources and types of resources and sources of resources and preservation and checking wastage of resources. Please read your book and solve the worksheet which is given in your website and send to my email. Thank you very much, students. Stay safe.